In Underhanded, the new novel by Jim Billman, Sonny Kristoff shares his adventures during the changing times after World War II with a refreshing inside-out look at history. Written from the perspective of men's fast-pitch softball, this was the time when baseball's little brother became America's most popular team sport. But unlike baseball, its imperfect dimensions brought about its demise. Order Underhanded on Amazon. Underhanded by longtime Southeast Iowa native Jim Billman. Available now.
Everything you need to know to start your day. The Morning Wake Up is streaming live with Steve Shetler.
Hey, good morning to you on The Morning Wake Up here on Steve Shetler Media, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter X. Our Morning Wake Up brought to us by Home Plate Sports Cards in Oskaloosa. We give a shout out to Eddie at Home Plate Sports Cards at 1516 A Avenue East, Oskaloosa. Call 641-676-1516. Home Plate Sports Cards open Wednesday through Friday, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m., Saturday noon to 6, and Sunday noon to 4. There's no place like Home Plate Sports Cards in Oskaloosa. They bring us our morning wake-up here on Steve Shetler Media. And a good morning to you. Let's take a look at our crazy forecast. Man, this is ridiculous. As we'll bring a graphic up here momentarily about what we went to and from for temperatures yesterday. But for today, our forecast is brought to us by the Garden Gated, 105 South Jefferson in Sigourney, 641-622-3191. Give Cindy a call or stop in and see her Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 9 to noon. They've got new spring merchandise. They've got fresh floral arrangements, jewelry, home decor, sympathy gifts. They got something for everyone, a little bit of everything in at the Garden Gate in Sigourney. And they bring us our forecast, which has sunshine today and breezy conditions. Wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. So remaining windy through today. A high temp today around 32. And wind chills this morning reaching a little bit below zero. So it is a cold start to our day. Kind of a shock. You know, we saw 70s recently, and now we're down into the teens, maybe even below the teens this morning here in southeast Iowa. So definitely a shell shock this morning. Clear skies tonight, a low of 20. Winds will diminish, it looks like, so that's a good thing. A little bit more breezy again tomorrow, sunny and 53, so obviously much warmer tomorrow. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, breezy, a low of 34, and sunshine on Friday with a high of 59. Looking ahead into Saturday, 70 for a high on Saturday, sunshine. Sunday, sunny, and 77. So get through today, and we'll be back on the rebound. Currently, we do have wind speeds out of the northwest, gusts up to about 30 miles per hour, and a barometer at 30.04. We'll call it breezy and 10 degrees right now in southeast Iowa. Wind chills a little bit below zero. So bundle up if you're heading out this morning to school or work. Again, wind chills about 10 below. The actual temp about 10 above, but you factor in those winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour, and it is a cold start to our day here in southeast Iowa. Let me bring up that graphic. I was taking some screenshots yesterday of my cell phone with the temperature changes. We went from right around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. I was in Oskaloosa yesterday afternoon, 69 degrees at about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. You saw the gradual progression through the late afternoon into the evening to this morning. So you went from 69 yesterday afternoon to this morning at 12 degrees. That's stupid. It's cold. I took the dogs out this morning, where, by the way, it was awfully moony this morning and windy, and it was cold. 12 degrees. I had the wind blowing in my face, and I had tears. I was crying. It was so cold. Not just the wind, the cold air in my face, making my eyes water this morning. I had tears running down my face just taking the dogs out. So it was cold, a cold start to our day here in southeast Iowa. Weather brought to us by the Garden Gate. Hey, coming up later on today, our question of the day, brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa, who is celebrating their 18th anniversary all month long in February. We got today and tomorrow left in February. Today is a leap year, so we get that bonus day. They've got 18% off all their products through this month. They've got a tanning special going on. They've got an open house coming up tomorrow from 3 to 7. So stop in 202 North Main to Amy's Salon House and Spa in Sigourney. Our question of the day, which will go up at noon today, where is your getaway spot for maybe a day or a weekend? If you need to get away from things, maybe have a quick overnight stay somewhere, where do you go? Where's your go-to spot to get away from everything? If you can get away, like I know, just on a rare occasion, my wife and I might do an overnight stay in Galena, Illinois, or, we might run to the Amanas, or, somewhere. We might go to Hayesville for the day. I don't know. What's your getaway spot if you need to leave things behind for a day or maybe a quick weekend getaway? So that'll be our question of the day for later on today, brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa. Hey, also coming up, or actually going on right now on the Steve Shetler Media Facebook page is a giveaway. We go from getaways to giveaways, as doing a giveaway for a pair of tickets to see the traditional country music of the Malpass Brothers. And that's with special guest Lori King and Junction 63. Of course, Lori is a friend to about anybody she meets here in Iowa. the Kings, Lori and Joe, good people. And they've helped me out here on Steve Shetler Media and given them some love for their concert coming up at the Knoxville Performing Arts Center in Knoxville, Iowa on March 9th. It's the Malpass Brothers, a nationally known act, doing their... You can see the picture right there. You can see that they're the real deal. I mean, they've got the outfits, the suits, some little bit of rhinestone activity going on there. They've got the big hair. They've got the traditional sounding country music, and they're bringing that to Knoxville coming up on March 9th. And Lori King and Junction 63 going to be opening things up. Get your tickets in advance or just win them here on Steve Shetler Media. I made a post yesterday during the noon hour, and all you have to do to be eligible to win a couple of tickets is go to that post, like it, and share it. That's all. That's all you have to do. And we'll announce our winner later today at 12:30. So if you want to see a great concert with some traditional country music, leaning towards the bluegrass side with Lori King and Junction 63, the traditional sounds of the Malpass Brothers. I put up an interview I did also yesterday morning that I did with Chris Malpass of the Malpass Brothers, and he, just the nicest guy. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Kind of how he talks. Good guy. So go back and check out that interview. You'll get to know Chris from the Malpass Brothers, and you'll get a feel for what's coming to the Knoxville Performing Arts Center. That giveaway going on the Steve Shetler Media page, Facebook page. Go back, like, and share that, and maybe get some tickets for that show coming up on March 9th. Coming up this Friday, we will have Scott Kirkhart as our Iowa Music Showcase at Barnwired in Sigourney. You can stop in and see it live at Barnwired there on the south side of the square in Sigourney, or you can catch it right here on Steve Shetler Media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. A live interview, live original music from Scott Kirkhart. He's coming to us from up around the Fort Dodge area, so tune in or stop in to Barn Wired in Sigourney Friday for our Iowa Music Showcase. Let's see here. Usually, all right, so we are going to end up taking a break from the sports section this Saturday. It's kind of another one of those dead times of the year. We're kind of in between sports right now here in Southeast Iowa. None of our area teams, all that involved. You got the EBF girls. Don't want to disrespect anybody. You got the EBF girls. You got the Montezuma girls that in play at the state girls basketball tournament. But it's kind of that time of the year where we're in between things, and we're going to take a break with the sports section. We decided that yesterday, so we'll take a break this Saturday with the sports section and be back at it next Saturday at 8 a.m. live from Brothers Market, so make sure you tune in then. Now, one sports note I want to pass along, in case you missed this yesterday. Now, earlier this week, announced that we're going to be broadcasting Pekin Panther football on Friday nights here on Steve Shetler Media with live streaming, video, announcers, scoreboard, all the works for Pekin Panther football. Clint Weber and his team Friday nights on Steve Shetler Media this fall. Also, big announcement yesterday that Clint Dye teaming up with Steve Shetler Media. Clint is the guy behind the camera at Tag Team Photography. Now, you've seen his pictures for the last few years from SK Cobra Games, and now he is joining up with Steve Shetler Media, which is, I think is a big deal. Clint takes fantastic pictures, and we're going to do some quick little videos. He's going to write an article for me each week and put that all together. So, a fantastic addition to the Steve Shetler Media family. Again, teaming up with Tag Team Photography. Clint Dye, going to be my correspondent, basically, for Sigourney Keota Cobra football this fall here on Steve Shetler Media. So, really looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see here. I think we got through most of our normal stuff. Do want to tell you once again, just a reminder that we've got the bowling event at Keokuk County Bowl coming up this Saturday for the Sigourney Music Boosters. Proceeds going to the Music Boosters. That's Saturday from 1 to 3. You can see all the ticket information there. $10 gets you two hours of bowling. Get a hold of Allison Weber or Becky Shaw to purchase in advance. They'll have a silent auction. So that money going towards the Music Boosters. We did an interview on Monday with Miss Shaw and some of the kids from the music group. So, get in on that coming up on Saturday. Also, coming up on Friday, the Savage Sips, the coffee shop at the Sigourney High School, is going to be open to the public. They're celebrating their one-year anniversary. You can see them on TikTok and Instagram, and that's Friday morning. You can celebrate from 7:30 to 9:30 at Savage Sips. Now, I'm actually going out to Savage Sips later on this morning. We'll do a quick video interview with some of the students and maybe some of the faculty that help out at Savage Sips, and we'll be airing that probably tomorrow here on Steve Shetler Media. So look for that interview. But Savage Sips open to the public on Friday at the Sigourney High School. So get in on that. Also, let's see here. One other community calendar note. Let's see here if I can. I'm doing stuff that you guys can't see on your screen right now. I do want to point out that also one of my sponsors here on Steve Shetler Media, Mahaska Drug, they have new hours starting on Monday. So look for that. Those are your new hours at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa. We thank them for being one of our main sponsors, one of our steady sponsors here on Steve Shetler Media. Speaking of which, my sponsors, I've been talking to a lot of my sponsors. We have rolled around. The calendar has changed this morning, and we are officially, this is official now, we are at 6 months. Been doing this a half a year. Steve Shetler Media. We started this August 28th of last year. It's now February 28th. We are 6 months into this. Can you believe it? We've made it this far. So thanks to you, our viewers, and people that follow and engage and like and comment and share here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So thank you guys, 6 months into this. Thanks, as always, to the sponsors. They always make this possible. They're letting me make a living doing what I'm doing here on social media. So thanks to all the sponsors that scroll down right over here. So as always, the biggest thing you can do for me, along with all your activity here on Facebook and social media, is telling them my sponsors. If you see these companies, these businesses, if you go into them, buy something for them, use their talents for whatever reason, tell them you saw your ad here on Steve Shetler Media. Let them know that their ads are being seen, and hopefully they will continue to sponsor here on Steve Shetler Media. So we thank all these sponsors down here. We thank, of course, which way did we go? Right here, Home Plate Sports Cards, our headline sponsor of the Morning Wake Up here on Steve Shetler Media. So thanks to the sponsors, thanks to you, thanks to anybody who has had anything to do with keeping me rocking and rolling here for 6 months now with Steve Shetler Media. And speaking of which, let's go to my comments here. Good morning to you, Dan. Good morning to you, Tracy, Nancy, Sherry, Dodie, Kurt and Kathy, Sherry, Amber, Dixie, Sandy, Rebecca, Sherry, Jason. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate you. A lot of you regular here on the Morning Wake Up. Let's go ahead and do some birthdays. Happy birthday. Happy. Happy birthday. Hey, Renee. Good morning to you as well. Birthdays for today. Let's see here. Our old person, actually it's an old bear that is on our birthday list for today. Only you. Smokey the Bear is 96 years old today. So Smokey, been telling people not to start forest fires. Only you can prevent forest fires. Smokey the Bear, 96 years old today. Now, as far as a real-life person, the elder celebrity on the list today is Leon Cooper, who is a U.S. physicist. He's a physicist. The U.S. physicist Leon Cooper, Nobel Prize winner back in 1972. He is now 94 years old. So we salute you, Leon Cooper, you physicist. Other birthdays for today: dancer, choreographer Tommy Tune, 85. We've got auto racer Mario Andretti, 84. Singer Donnie Iris is 81. Actress Bernadette Peters is 76. We've got Randy Jackson turning 69. John Turturro, actor, is 67. Pat Monahan from the group Train is 55. And then country singer Jason Aldean. Try that in a small town. 47 years old. Happy birthday to Jason Aldean from country music. On this date in history, on February 28th in history, 1854, here's the story. Some 50 people that were opposed to slavery back in 1854 met at a schoolhouse in Wisconsin, calling for a new political group. That group later would become the Republican Party. So that was 1854. It was on this date in 1940, a college basketball game was broadcast on TV for the very first time. 1958, the cost of a postage stamp went from 3 cents to 6 cents. Doubled in price. You couldn't do that today without an uproar. I mean, price changes in postage stamps, it's just, it's just not news anymore. But 3 cents to 6 cents on this date in 58. On this date in 1983, everybody was watching TV because it was the final episode of MASH. The helicopter. That was the helicopter noise. On this date, 1983, 121.6 million people watched the final episode of MASH. which until recently was the most watched single event in TV history, not including the Super Bowl. So, yeah, people, obviously with all of the TV options out there, other than the Super Bowl, you're just not going to get 121.6 million people watching the same show anymore. So that happened in 1983. Imagine that TV audience. That was huge. I remember sitting in my mom and dad's living room. We were all watching the last episode of MASH and crying because it was so sad. Good morning to you, Billy. And yeah, everybody else in the comments. Today, February 28th, today is National Chocolate Soufflé Day. It's also National Tooth Fairy Day. It's National Floral Design Day, and it's National Public Sleeping Day. So celebrate those things. Things you need to know. Let's see here. We were talking about streaming. Not a surprise, but word is Netflix is looking at another price increase in the near future. So that'll probably be happening. 2 men found guilty in the let's see here, of Jam Master Jay from Run DMC. So that murder took place in 2002. Jam Master Jay, the DJ of the groundbreaking hip-hop trio Run DMC. We talked about this earlier this week. The late singer George Michael has been honored with a new collectible coin issued by Britain's Royal Mint. Other news, Sylvester Stallone, Sly, announcing he has permanently left California and now he lives in Florida. I'm from California and I'm going to Florida. Okay. Steph Gofield, Minneapolis, is a stay-at-home mom who created her own baby naming company. You think I did a weird thing by creating Steve Shetler Media. This woman created her own baby naming company. It's called Names with Steph. It's for parents struggling to come up with a name that will sound cool. This is a job? I need to do that. I need to get a hold of this woman and find out her secrets. Her services range from $25 for 5 name suggestions to $500 for an interactive experience, which includes unlimited name suggestions, 3 video calls, and a personalized certificate. Here's an idea. Just go to Google for free and search for baby names. Ta-da! I am a freaking genius. And I'm going to charge you for that advice as well. Why would you need to hire somebody to help you name your baby? Okay. In other news, good morning to you, Cindy. Taylor Swift's dad allegedly is a slugger, as in he slugged a member of the paparazzi while the pair were out in Australia early Tuesday morning. So I'm sure that'll cause some headaches for the Swift family. But the Swizz. Hi, Taylor. Let's see here. Don Lemon. He's not with CNN anymore, but he did receive a lovely parting gift. You get $24.5 million as his settlement. I need to get a hold of Don Lemon's lawyer. $24.5 million to go away. That's a nice deal. Back to streaming. True Detective Night Country was the most watched season of the series so far, which they've done, 4 seasons, and they're all different with the True Detective series. Season 5 has been given the go-ahead. So, it's always, like I said, always seems to have a different plot, different characters. So that'll be rolling along. Volkswagen going to introduce its first pickup truck in North America, but they have changed their mind. You're going to have to wait. So no Volkswagen pickup truck for you. Not quite yet. A Volkswagen pickup. Let's see here. Macy's. Slipping sales at Macy's means that they're planning now to close 150 stores over the next 3 years, 50 of those by the end of this year. So Macy's going away. In Tennessee, the legislature looking at passing a bill that would make it illegal for pride flags to be in classrooms. We'll see what happens there. New stats showing that the U.S. home prices hit an all-time high in December. So you can make some big money. That's the thing. You sell your house for a lot of money, but then you have to buy someplace else that prices are also inflated. So who comes out ahead? I don't know. And then something new at the Paris Olympics this summer. Male swimmers will be allowed to compete in artistic swimming for the first time. That's my artistic swimming. Artistic swimming for men. Sounds lovely. Let's see here. Food news. Yum, 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 yum. Wendy's. Actually looking at trying out what they call I can't talk. Surge pricing. They're going to try out surge pricing. You know what that is? That is where prices of their food would fluctuate throughout the day. If you eat at a less popular time, you'll pay less. So you might want to rearrange your eating schedule if you eat out a lot or eat particularly at Wendy's. You might want to eat like in the middle of the afternoon. Surge pricing. Sounds weird. Wendy's also isn't skipping out on celebrating this leap year. The fast food place observing Leap Day with a sweet breakfast deal tomorrow. Cinnabon pull-aparts will be free for customers during breakfast hours. So, again, surge pricing and a Leap Day breakfast special at Wendy's. Let's see, here's something new for the spring at Dairy Queen. It's called the Confetti Cake Dipped Cone. Might want to try that at Dairy Queen. In other food news, the company that owns Outback Steakhouse, as well as Bonefish Grill, Fleming's, and other places, says that it's going to be closing 41 underperforming restaurants in the near future. So a few of those restaurants going away. Hey, it is time for Today's Impossible! It's impossible question. Today's impossible question. Over the last 40 years, the number of people doing this has dropped 70%. What do you think that is? Over the last 40 years, the number of people doing this has dropped 70%. It is taking a bath. Over the last 40 years, the number of people taking a bath has dropped 70%. Do you guys take a bath? I do not take a bath. I am not a fan of just sitting in dirty water. Anyway, other stuff. Their Wallet Hub put out a list of the top 20 happiest cities in America. Number 1, Fremont, California, not Fremont, Iowa. I'm sure they're very happy in Fremont, Iowa, but Fremont, California is number 1 most happiest places to live in America. Right behind that is Overland Park, Kansas. You got San Jose, San Jose, California, number 3. Madison, Wisconsin, 4. Irvine, California, 5. The rest of your top 10 happiest cities in America: Honolulu, San Francisco, Pearl City, Hawaii, Columbia, Maryland, and Scottsdale, Arizona. Let's do something weird.
That is weird.
In the weird, good morning to you, Tamra and Rick. No, I'm not saying you guys are weird. I mean, you might be a little weird. But we're doing weird news right now. Let's go to this story. Love letters. How would you like to have your love letters just out in the open, published, auctioned off even? Be a little weird and embarrassing. Love letters to Patty Boyd from both George Harrison and Eric Clapton are going up for sale at Christie's Auction House alongside clothing, jewelry, and other memorabilia from the renowned model and musician's muse. Now, Boyd, who was previously married both to the Beatle, George Harrison, and the guitar legend, Eric Clapton, is selling a trove of items from her time where she was basically at the epicenter of the 60s and 70s pop culture. So amongst those things are love letters from both George and Eric Clapton. Other weird news, let's see here. Blasphemy. Blasphemy, punishable by death in Pakistan. So when a woman there was accused of said crime over the weekend, a mob made up of hundreds of angry men descended upon a restaurant where she was hiding out. The woman's supposed infraction, she was wearing a colorful dress with Arabic writing on it that her accusers thought contained verses from the Quran. So they attacked her. The woman was said to have been shopping with her husband on Sunday when her attire caught the attention of bystanders, leading to around 300 people cornering her at the eatery. Video shows her huddling in fear inside the restaurant, with some men demanding she take the dress off, or they'd take it off of her, or yelling other threats. Now, actually, what she had written on the dress was the Arabic word for beautiful. And they still went after her. That's kind of crazy. Kind of weird. In other weird news, a breakfast-themed house fashioned after a stack of pancakes, complete with a butter-shaped chimney, is being made available for 3-night stays on 4 dates in Tennessee. So, again, the house is built and looks like a stack of pancakes with a butter-shaped chimney. The Eggo House of Pancakes, constructed by Eggo, Lego My Eggo, in honor of National Pancake Day, is furnished with breakfast-inspired decor, including pancake-inspired beds with strawberries and cream sheets and pillows. That is available for some time in March, if you want to look for that. Book yourself the Pancake House in Tennessee. Other weird stuff, let's go to an 81-year-old Texas man who has received his personal training certification. Again, he's 81. He became a personal trainer at 73 and has been named the world's oldest fitness instructor. His name is Tim Minnick. Teaches multiple classes each day at the Gold's Gym in Austin. He took the Guinness World Records title from the California 65-year-old Wendy Ida. So again, he is 81, a fitness instructor in Texas. Good for him. Let's go to the files of law and disorder. In some disorder, the Georgia Department of Agriculture and a sheriff's office in South Georgia have teamed up to make one of the largest drug busts in state history. The Ag Department got involved because officials first thought it was a food manufacturing plant. Well, it was not. It was more than that. They went in and found that it was probably the largest indoor pot growing operation in the Southeast. From seedling to full grown and ready to harvest, over 11,000 plants were found inside the marijuana growing facility in rural South Georgia. Street value said to be about $22.3 million. So, yeah, that is some disorder going on in the state of Georgia. Let's do some good news. Students at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine in the Bronx will no longer have to pay tuition after the school received a $1 billion donor gift. Again, this is a gift, $1 billion. Ruth Gottsman, who is chairperson of the college's board of trustees, made the donation using money left to her by her late husband, financier David Gottsman, who was a friend of Warren Buffett and whose company, First Manhattan Company, was an early investor in Berkshire Hathaway, according to Forbes. So $1 billion given to the Albert Einstein College of Medicine in the Bronx. Kids that are accepted there get to go for free because of that donation. Finally, in some duh. In some duh, for a couple of centuries, you could blame your stumbling at England's so-called quirkiest watering hole on its slanting floors and not the amount that you drank. You could blame it on that. But the Crooked House is what it's called. The Crooked House, again, it's kind of a bar in England, sold in July of last year before being gutted by suspected arson a mere 9 days later. So somebody bought the place. They're going to start business there. Somebody else set it on fire just 9 days after they made the purchase. Now, less than 48 hours after the fire, at the 260-year-old pub, the new owners of the Crooked House turned it into the demolished house, raising what was left of it without a permit and to much local outcry. 6 months later, they've been ordered to rebuild the pub brick by brick to the original specifications. 6 people have been charged variously with suspicion of conspiracy to commit arson, to endangering life, and suspicion of arson with intent to kill. So those cases are pending, but those people got to be sentenced to rebuild the former 260-year-old pub brick by brick. So that's quite the punishment for burning that place down. They get a big duh.
Duh.
That is your morning wake up, brought to us by Home Plate Sports Cards in Oskaloosa. And coming up later on today, I'm going to be running over to Sigourney High School here in just a little bit to do an interview with the teenagers and the folks that run Savage Sips at Sigourney High School. We'll have that interview for you tomorrow. Also, 8 a.m. in remembrance of video. We've got maybe... I don't know if I'm going to have some information for country music news today or not. We'll have to wait and see on that. Otherwise, successful farming, musical musings video coming up with Iowa musician Brad Johnson. I can't talk right now. And those are some other things. We'll have our question of the day going up. We'll put some weird news out there. And I might make an announcement later on today concerning some racing coverage here on Steve Shetler Media. So just remember that. Also, keep in mind you can get in for a giveaway for a couple of tickets to see the Malpass Brothers with Lori King and Junction 63. That is March 9th at the Knoxville Performing Arts Center in Knoxville, Iowa. Find that post from yesterday. That went up during the noon hour yesterday. Like and share that and get in the running for those tickets, 2 tickets for that show, going to be given away today at 12:30. So just like and share and maybe win. And your forecast for the rest of today, sunny and windy, a cold start to our day here in southeast Iowa. A high of 32, breezy northwest winds all day long. Your morning wake up here on Steve Shetler Media, brought to us by Home Plate Sports Cards. They'll be open up later on today at 5:30 at 1516 A Avenue East in Oskaloosa. All right, that does it for our morning wake up. You guys get out there and have a great rest of your Wednesday. Stay warm. It will be warming up by this weekend again, back into the 70s. Just got to get through today. Thanks to Home Plate Sports Cards for bringing us the morning wake up. Have a great day.